It was not a good week to be a Chase in NASCAR, but yeah, we talked about all the penalties, everything that came out from NASCAR the last couple of days, and more on this episode of Running with the Pack. Hey guys, Ryan here, and today we are here to do a quick video in the middle of the week, midweek update, because on my way back from Charlotte Motor Speedway this past week, there were two absolutely massive penalties. I actually started to record this video, and then the second penalty got announced, so I knew I needed to re-record. So, penalty update. Not a good week to have the name Chase in NASCAR. So Chase Elliott, first and foremost, Chase Elliott getting suspended for the wreck on Denny Hamlin. I didn't have a great view of what happened because I was at the other end of the straightaway when it happened. But on the replay afterwards and with SMT data, it's pretty conclusive that it was done intentionally and that it wasn't Keselowski helping. So I think NASCAR made the right call based upon the precedent that they set last year with suspending Bubba for intentional contact. Once they did that, it feels like it's a lot harder to go ahead and just look the other way for an incident like this one. But so this week we will be missing Chase Elliott at the track. Corey LaJoie has actually gotten the promotion to drive that number 9 car for this weekend's race at Gateway because Josh Berry and Jordan Taylor, both the reserve drivers for that number 9 earlier this year, are both over in Portland running the Xfinity Series race. So they end up moving LaJoie from the 7 to the number 9 car, and then you had Carson Hocevar stepping up from the truck series, number 42 truck. He'll be doing double duty and filling in the number 7 car that LaJoie will be vacating. So, Corey LaJoie, this is a great opportunity for him. Honestly, Hocevar would not have been my first choice of the Chevy guys. I would have liked to have seen either Eckes or Infinger get the spot over Hocevar, but I'm happy for Hocevar to see him doing well. So, glad to see him getting the promotion. Just, again, I feel like there are other drivers that I would have liked to have seen get the spot a little bit more. But, yeah, ultimately, though, this one, in terms of actually impacting anything, this will give Corey LaJoie a good chance to try and point his way towards the playoffs because he is actually he was 20th in points here in the points after Charlotte before this next penalty. So he's sitting about 30-something points out right now. So one race in the number 9 car to either get a win or at the very least earn some very good points to try and help make a run at the playoffs. I wouldn't be too surprised to see Corey LaJoie run well. This is going to be easily the best car he's ever driven. But yeah, so that will be one factor. And then on the other side with Chase Elliott, I think this virtually eliminates his opportunity to point his way back to the playoffs because he missed out on a lot of points in the stages at Charlotte after the wreck because he knocked himself out of the race as well as Hamlin. And then you have the fact that he's going to miss out on a full race worth of points at Gateway this week. We'll take a look before Sonoma to see if it looks like it. But speaking of Sonoma, there are a lot of road courses and a lot of races that Chase Elliott could win down the stretch. Watkins Glen's a good one. Nashville, in terms of ovals, is a pretty good one that he could win at. Wouldn't be super surprised to see him go out there and win something like Darlington even later this year, although Darlington is actually the first race of the playoffs, so he can't win that to get there. He could even win Daytona to lock himself in. The Richmond race that the number 9 car finished second at with Josh Berry. Maybe Chase Elliott's the difference to get that car a win at this race this coming year, or this coming race at Richmond. So, we'll have to wait and see. But I think those are going to be some opportunities for Elliott to win. But he is practically in must-win mode. I don't know if I haven't obviously talked to the team or anything, but I'm assuming that it is must-win mode for them. I don't really see a path to the playoffs. Let me see. How far down is he in points right now after all that? So he is 28th in points. And Chase Elliott is 81 points out. I mean, and he's going to probably drop about 20, 25, maybe even 30 points down from the bracket. We'll have to wait and see how Gateway goes. But yeah, 81 points is going to be very tough to claw back. But yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible, but he's only got, he'll have 11 races left to go when we go back. So, yeah, it will not be very easy to do. But, yeah. Now, that penalty, probably the lesser of the two in terms of playoff impact, because Chase Briscoe, the other Chase of this video, he and his team got busted with counterfeiting. I can't remember what part, but they were counterfeiting parts on the next-gen car. Basically just trying to push the envelope with the next-gen car as to how much they're allowed to modify, and in this case, just completely straight up create a new part. But yeah, so the next-gen car, though, you can't mess with it. NASCAR dropped the hammer on them. 120 points. 25 playoff points, so even if he does get a win and gets in the playoffs, he's essentially a round one knockout very easily. So I kind of hope he doesn't win, because that would be a bit of a waste of a playoff spot. And $250,000 fine to the team, and then the crew chief getting suspended for 6 points paying races. So yeah. Johnny Klossmeyer, I believe, is the crew chief over there. He will be out for essentially 2 months as we wait to see how that number 14 team responds. But between the fact that they've launched off the last couple of weeks, starting the race with 30th to 35th place speed the last several weeks, I really just don't see how they anticipate on actually having a shot at the playoffs this year. So I think it's pretty easy to say that this is the end of essentially his shot at any shot at the championship this year, or even playoffs. So just building towards next year, I guess, for Briscoe. But yeah, not very good for the team that is in theory going to be the team leader next year, because Almirola's on his way out soon-ish. Harvick's out after this year. Supposedly, Josh Berry is currently finalizing a deal to take over the number 4 car, but he'll be the newcomer. I'm not sure he's set to be the team leader. And we haven't really seen anything from Ryan Preece yet that really shows that he is even remotely a team leader caliber driver right now. So, I mean, Briscoe, he is he's the guy you've kind of hung your bet on, that he is going to be your future. And if he ends up not panning out, or if the team just can't seem to get good cars for him, it will not end well. So yeah. This puts Chase Briscoe down in 31st place in points. So he was just on the outside looking in. He was, I think, 4 points outside the cut line, to now he's 124 points outside the cut line. So again, that's another driver that's in essentially must win. Now, he could very easily win potentially if we get the Indy Road Course later this year, but again, the negative 25 playoff points are going to absolutely bury him when and if he gets to the playoffs. So, yeah, not a great week for stuff, and I kind of just wish we would stop having so many stupid penalties, because it feels like it really distracts from the great racing that we have had, because we haven't had, I won't say it's been the best racing ever or anything, because I think that would be overhyping it, but we have had very solid racing almost every week. Certainly a lot of the races that have ended up having penalties, handed out during them, it always seems like it's kind of distracting from what should be the storyline. Like the Josh Berry second place finish, and then two of his teammates end up getting busted for an issue and getting handed a penalty. Then you had the whole colleague versus Hendrick penalty at Phoenix, where that went on for almost a month, and the talk was all about, are they gonna give back the points for both teams, because originally they only gave back the Hendrick points, and then the NASCAR or the final appeals officer gave back Haley's points. So just feels like it's been penalty talk after penalty talk all season, when really there's been some pretty good storylines on the season. I mean, Ty Gibbs has been having an amazing rookie campaign for a driver that really, I don't think anyone really expected he was going to be ready to make a potential playoff running Cup. But right now he's only 15 points outside that playoff cut line, and he's a pretty good road racer. So a lot of road courses down the stretch, he could very easily point his way in. Yeah, and then there's been obviously the injury conversation with Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman both sitting out of the car for a few weeks each. So yeah, it's just kind of been a lot of storylines, and unfortunately very few of them coming from the on-track product, which has been fantastic, especially this past weekend at the Coke 600. I mean, Coke 600 has been fantastic in the next gen car the last 2 years. So yeah, hopefully we get some better on-track action. Gateway this weekend, I'm not sure what to expect out of that one, because last year's race was not perfect, but it was also the first time they'd run there, if I'm not mistaken. So again, I'm kind of waiting. I'm excited to see how this race goes, but yeah, I'm a little nervous that it may end up turning out like some of the other races, like Richmond, like Martinsville, like Bristol did last year, even possibly with tire issues. So looking forward though to the race week. I'll be streaming the Cup race for sure, and let me check Truck and Xfinity schedules, because I haven't actually looked at them for after Charlotte, to see if I'll be able to stream either of the other ones. Xfinity at Portland I'll be able to do, and I won't be able to do trucks at Gateway. So yeah, I'll live stream though the Portland Xfinity Series race as well. So hopefully you guys will enjoy those. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you guys are new, so you guys don't miss a video or live stream. But until next time, this has been Ryan Dyer on YouTube, and hopefully I will see you guys next video, live stream, or whatever you guys decide to do with the rest of your day. Have a great day, everybody, and goodbye!